If we wanted to fuck, we could have.
Are you crazy?
Thing you said that the girl felt rejected, but I don't want to explain a little bit more. I want to watch the video first so everybody can see.
You don't want a spoiler alert?
Yeah, so
you
let's
want
watch
to spoil
the
it
video real quick. Here we go.
I think we haven't been intimate yet.
Because of me.
Continue.
You would like me to elaborate?
I want you to elaborate.
Okay. I feel like there's two kind of women you meet. You can meet a woman who wears her sexual heart on her sleeve. And there's another woman you can meet that it means a lot more. That if you're gonna sleep with her, you're not just sleeping with her, you are committing to her. Like for me, finding women and intimacy, it's not something that's tough. I can get that anywhere. So if I am to go down that road where I'm not 100 about you, I feel like that's a disrespect. You know, I could say and do all of those things and boom, we have some cold, beautiful sex. That's no problem. But then what, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Can I give you my response now?
Go for it, darling.
Just not had sex because of you. I'll tell you that straight.
Whew. What? That was crazy. That was, when I first watched this video, I wasn't expecting her response like that because of the fact that we've talked about this on this platform before. Men put women in categories. You have wives and you have other things, right? And basically what he was trying, from a male point of view, he was trying to explain to her that, hey, I see something more in you. I see that if I'm going to have sex with you, I want to make sure that I'm committed and I'm sure about you. I wouldn't want to just have sex with you and just slot you into that other things category. But she took offense to that. So explain from a woman's point of view what you saw in her response.
I don't think that she quite heard his response for what it was intended to do. I think that she automatically felt rejected for whatever reason. Like, it didn't matter what he said. He just heard that, I don't want to sleep with you. Mm-hmm. She didn't bother to listen to the breakdown as to, hey, I can get sex anywhere and have cold sex at that. But if I'm going to sleep with you, that means I want to commit to you. And that's why, you know, you and I haven't slept together. Mm-hmm. And there was no value in that. For her, I think she took instant rejection for whatever reason, maybe based on just the fact of her past, what she's used to, pleasing men with her body, you know, and to where she responded, because maybe she is just used to fucking at this point, you know, and not able for herself to receive a man that wants to receive her in a committed way.
Right. And I talked about that and how these new relationships, I think you were on here while saying it tends to, back in the day, relationships used to go like, you know, you meet, I assume you court/date, then you would get married, then you would have sex, right? Or you could do it this way. You meet, you date, have sex, then married, right? But now these relationships seem like you meet, sex, and then we'll think about if we're going to get in a relationship or not, depending on if the sex is good or not. And then we'll decide if we want to go down the road to getting married, right? But from looking at it, you know, from what he said, it sounds like something that I would say, and I told you the story in regards to what happened to me when I was stationed in Portugal, and I'm going to just share that really quick. I had a friend when I was in Portugal that I thought very highly of. I thought she was one of my best friends. She was in the gym. We both worked out. We were really close, right? But she was attracted to me, right? But I seen more in her. I thought that she was a close friend and I didn't want to mess it up by having sex with her because I know how that can go, right? I wasn't in a position to where I was going to settle down or things like that. So if we start having sex, I felt that I would lose my friendship with her, right? So I didn't want to jeopardize that. So I decided to tell her that, hey, you know, I see you as a friend. You know, I think you are very cool. You know, you're attractive, but I just want to keep you as a friend. And she took offense to that, to the point where she told like pretty much our whole inner circle that she thought I was gay, right? And she went around and everybody was thinking this, the women that she used to hang out with and the women that I knew. And I didn't find this out until I actually started dating a young woman that was in the quote unquote circle. And she told me while we were on a trip to a different island, she was like, hey, you know that your friend was telling everybody that you were gay because you didn't want to have sex with her. And I was like, what? You know, and so I kind of kept that for the last couple months that I was stationed in Portugal. But me and her, my friend, we ended up linking back up, and we all went on a trip to Philadelphia for Veterans Day, the holiday. And I actually confronted her with that. And I told her, I was like, hey, why would you tell everybody that I was gay just because I saw you as more of a friend and I didn't want to have sex with you? And she was like, yeah, I was just upset, you know, because of the fact that I thought that you were rejecting me. And that's why when you told the story from a woman's perspective, it kind of sunk in. And that's when I told that story. And I remembered that, hey, maybe she felt rejected. But in my mind, from a male point of view, I'm like, I think I'm doing a great thing.
The
like,
honest thing.
You know?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, and I think that, you know, handling rejection, you know, has to come from a healthy place, you know, to put it in perspective. It's like you, her friend, was honest when most dudes that only try to be friends to hook up or to fuck or to get a certain type of angle, you know, to where there's honesty or what have you. I think, you know, the challenging of that rejection was misplaced because it became very destructive, you know, and toxic. What good does she get out of that? Because she still doesn't get the person that she wanted and she was interested in. Then she has to clear up this lie, right? Like you were never going to find out. I mean, you're self-destructing because you didn't get what you want. And that's absolutely not okay.
Right. Yeah. And I think, you know, my situation and the situation that this young man was describing, I think is different because he didn't rule out the fact that they would probably be in a relationship. He was just trying to make sure that she was the right one. And if he was going to have sex with her, it has to, you know, be right. And he was ready to commit to her. So like I said, I thought when he was talking, I was like, oh man, this is a
so nice.
Yeah, this is kind of romantic.
And for her, it's like, dang, for once, I don't have to plead. I don't just have to fuck or have sex to grab somebody's interest. You know, he actually is interested in taking his time to then take the steps to have the sex more meaningful as it should be. I think sex is so easy these days. Yeah. You know, if I can have sex with you, then let's see what else I can get. When it should be, like you were saying, the other way around, the cultivation. You know, let's get to know each other. You know, let's cultivate this friendship relationship, the building part, to have interest, to make sure we like each other first of all, you know, because then I'm going to give my body to you and you to me. And I want that to mean something. Now we understand the day and age that we're in where, you know, sex is sex and, you know, it's not what it is and we can move on. And if that's you and that's how you stroke, hey, that's you, you know, but some people still want it to be meaningful. And I think it was great that he took the time to break it down. And then the way that she turned it around was so crazy.
Yeah, it was just unfortunate because I seen,
and then you see other people at the table like,
yeah, they were like,
what is going on here?
I knew something was going to come up the way she downed that drink.
Yeah. I'm like, but why are you so ready to get after his life? Like you care about him. But I think, you know, it's like the show. You got to put on a show to defend yourself and to stand your ground when you look stupid as hell. Yeah. And, you know, she should have just took that. And if they were connected, I don't even know what that show was on, but they should have talked offline about that. You know, they should have talked offline about that. I mean, you never expose your business, in my opinion, in that setting. He asked her, you know what I'm saying? Or she asked him, he responded. And I think his response was absolutely respectful. It was good for the table, you know, where he didn't even like put no shade because he cared about her. And now it's like, damn, how I feel about you. You acted a damn fool. I really don't want to have sex with your ass. I really hope that that's the response.
Yeah, I might have to go see the whole because I'm like, man, I would have cut that girl off right after the show.
Completely. Like, dang,
but the funny thing is, the way she responded is the reason why he didn't have sex with her.
Right.
Because he wanted to make sure that she was the right woman. So let's say if they did have sex beforehand and he didn't do his proper vetting and he ends up finding out that she's crazy like she displayed on the show, and he leaves. Now he immediately becomes a fuckboy.